Sharp, juicy and wild. And no, I'm not talking about myself, but this fruit here called Bullace. Let's turn it into a delicious cordial that you will love to drink. Bullace is a fruit that grows on a small tree or large shrub. It's a type of wild plum, so it's very closely related to Damsons and Blackthorn that produces sloe berries. Bullace fruits tend to be the same roundish shape as sloe berries, but bigger, whereas Damsons are normally bigger than Bullace and more oval in shape. Bullace is not particularly nice to eat raw, but that said, they are a lot nicer than sloe berries. Both are tart and astringent, so drying in the mouth, but Bullace to a much lesser extent than Sloes, which is what makes them a lot more palatable to eat than sloe berries. You can use Bullace instead of Sloes in an alcoholic infusion in gin to make Bullace gin instead of sloe gin, but today I'm using them to make a non-alcoholic cordial. First up, I harvest 1 kilogram of the Bullace fruits. I then pop them in a freezer bag and freeze them, and then later defrost them, and this mimics a frost, helping to break open the skins, and it also ruptures pulp structures in the fruits, meaning the fruits release juice more easily. This process can also take the edge off the tartness of the fruits. It doesn't remove it, but it can soften any tartness a little. I then put the Bullace in a large saucepan, add 300 millilitres of water, and bring it slowly to the boil. Don't worry about the stones because you'll remove those later. I then mash the fruit up with a potato masher before leaving it to simmer for about 45 minutes. For the next step, you can do it one of two ways. You can take a large sieve lined with a muslin cloth and place that over a large bowl and tip the Bullace in and allow it to drip through for at least 6 hours or overnight. A quicker, less faffy way is just to use a sieve on its own without the muslin cloth. I might let some juice drip through naturally, but over the course of 20 or 30 minutes, I do also periodically stir the contents of the sieve too, as well as scrape the bottom of the sieve with a spoon to remove blockages, and even coax the juice and pulp through by pushing the mixture down on the sieve with my spoon. I repeat this in batches until I've used all the contents of my pan and have extracted as much juice and liquidy pulp as comfortably possible. With this method, you're obviously still removing the stones, but you'll get some pulp or skin going through too. The end result will be a cloudier cordial, but with more body and fruit solids. Still perfectly tasty. Once I've got the filtered liquid, I'll then measure the juice, and for each 100 millilitres of juice, I add 70 grams of sugar. I had about 750 millilitres of juice, so I added about 500 grams worth of sugar. I then heat the mixture gently while stirring to dissolve the sugar, and once the sugar's dissolved, I remove it from the heat. I then pour the cordial into warm, sterilised glass bottles or other such glass containers, leaving a bit of room at the top so they aren't brimful. Seal the bottles and store in a cool, dry area ready to use how you wish. I like to use it as a mixer for water, sparkling water, or even for mocktails.